Some of you should know about this phone that was unveiled at MWC. Last year's Spark 9 Pro was impressive in terms of price and image quality of selfies. If you want to get a phone with great selfies at a cheap price last year, I would suggest you buy Spark 9 Pro. But in this year, you can check this one, Spark 10 Pro. Like Spark 9 Pro, the box contains almost the same accessories, car pin, earphone, charging cable, and 18-watt charger. The only difference is that the case has changed from a hard PC to TPU, which means it has become more flexible. The design of Spark 10 Pro is somewhat similar to its predecessor, but not quite. The most obvious change is the camera module. 2 circles have become 3, but when you take a closer look, the lens has become 1 less. The circle on the right is actually the flash, and the small hole above it is just a decoration. Although there's 1 less lens, but the lens is really not that important. I think it's worth it if you can get a better main camera for it. The back panel design is also made of a glossy and a frosted, but the glossy area has been cut down, and only the lens module part is glossy. This time the back panel material has been upgraded. The new starry glass is more scratch resistant and very smooth to the touch. Unfortunately, there are only 2 colorways of black and white this time. Green and blue do not appear on the 10 Pro. When you see the earphones in the box, you should be able to guess that Spark 10 Pro has a headphone jack, a TF card, and a dual SIM card that can be put into the SIM card slot together. Waterproof design is also available. Honestly, I like Spark 9 Pro a little more in terms of design, but design favorites are different from person to person. Spark 10 Pro has done its best at its price point. The bad news is that Spark 10 Pro selfie camera is still 32 megapixel, but the good news is that Spark 9 Pro is already unbeatable for selfies at the same price point, so the 10 Pro selfie camera is also still powerful. The selfie in the daytime is already much better than many budget phones, and is close to middle and high-end phones. Beauty mode also removes blemishes from your face. Here's what puts Spark 10 Pro ahead of others. Its front notification light. It's also a flashlight, providing enough light for selfies in low light. It avoids reflection from screen-filled light and is very friendly to people who wear glasses. The brighter light also results in less noise and sharper details. Anyway, there's no phone under $200 that can take better selfies than the Spark 10 Pro. I'm sure about that. Although the rear camera has 1 less lens, it seems that the performance of the main camera has become better. With the aid of AI color tuning, the main camera can give you a great photo for most scenes. These photos don't look much different from mid-range phones that are much more expensive than it, and it has a 50 megapixel full pixel mode. But with the lack of AI color grading and a large size of photos, I think 12 megapixel is enough. Spark 10 Pro as an entry phone, you can't expect too much from it at night. It does get more noisy and less clarity, but its super night mode improves the dynamic range of the photos, at least allowing you to capture objects in front of the lens even in low light. Spark 10 Pro also supports 2K 30fps, and the clarity of the footage is quite good for entry phones. The front lens resolution support up to 2K and the frame rate support up to 30fps. With the front flash, I think it's even better than many flagship phones. In addition to the algorithmic improvement of the camera, the display has also been upgraded this time. The first upgrade can be seen when you light up the screen, punch hole display. Although this kind of a display has become mainstream for a long time, but many phones in the same price range are also using the water drop display. This is also a kind of upgrade. The screen also supports higher refresh rates, with a 90Hz refresh rate being good enough for most everyday applications. I wouldn't say the display is very good, but it's clear that Spark 10 Pro is doing its best. Spark 10 Pro's processor is MediaTek's Helio G88. While the G88 sounds more powerful than the 9 Pro's G85, the difference in performance is actually negligible. The G88 has no problem handling PUBG Mobile, with HD graphics stable at 30fps. If you have to play Genshin Impact on your entry phone, I've tested it for you too. It's not a problem to cope with the Commission Quest at the lowest graphics, but the game experience is not that good. 5% power consumption for 10 minutes. This entry phone is more suitable for more relaxed games, I think. The Spark 10 Pro is a very interesting phone. Even in 2023, an entry phone that focuses on selfies is very rare. In order to let more people enjoy taking selfies, it not only makes concessions on the price, but also doesn't lag behind other phones in every aspect of its specs. If you like budget selfie phone, then do try Spark 10 Pro. At least in selfie, it will not let you down. Here's Will from Gizmochina. We'll see you next time.